My dear brothers and sisters, today, we gather here as an esteemed and learned group, and we find ourselves at the heart of a fascinating exchange in the Holy Scriptures. Our passage from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 20, verses 1 to 8, presents a moment when the authority of Jesus was questioned by the chief priests, scribes, and elders in the temple. This interaction is profound, and I believe it carries significant lessons for us, both as individuals and as a community. Before we delve into the passage, let me give you a brief background. At this point in the Gospel of Luke, Jesus had been teaching the people in the temple and sharing the good news. His words and actions had caught the attention of those who held authority in religious matters. They approached him, asking, "By what authority are you doing these things? Who is it who gave you this authority?" The question they posed to Jesus is an essential one. It reflects the human tendency to question the source of power and authority. Even in today's world, we often question the authority of leaders, governments, and even spiritual figures. It's a natural instinct to seek understanding and assurance. Now, let's consider 5 key points from this passage. Jesus' response: when faced with the question of his authority, Jesus, in his divine wisdom, turned the tables on his questioners. He responded with a question of his own, asking them whether the baptism of John came from heaven or was of human origin. This tactic highlights Jesus' divine authority and wisdom in dealing with challenges. The fear of the religious leaders, who were supposed to guide the people in matters of faith, were caught in a dilemma. They were afraid to answer Jesus' question about John's baptism because they were concerned about how the people would react. This situation reminds us that true authority often challenges us to be authentic and truthful. The wisdom of St. Augustine, Street. Augustine once said, "Authority without wisdom is like a heavy axe without an edge, fitter to bruise than to polish." This reminds us that authority should always be exercised with wisdom and compassion, never to harm but to nurture. Pope Francis on humility. Our beloved Pope Francis has emphasized the importance of humility in leadership. In this passage, Jesus' humility shines through his response. He could have asserted his authority directly, but instead, he engaged in a thought-provoking dialogue. Pope Francis teaches us that humility is a key element of true authority. Indian context. In our Indian and Kerala context, where diversity and spirituality abound, the question of authority is of great significance. We must remember that Jesus' authority is not merely human but divine. In our own lives, we face many questions about authority, be it in politics, religion, or society. It is crucial for us to discern what is rooted in truth and goodness, as we strive to live in harmony and understanding in our diverse communities. My dear parishioners, in this passage, Jesus demonstrates that his authority comes from above, from the divine source. As we navigate the complexities of life and society, let us seek divine wisdom and humility in exercising the authority entrusted to us. Remember that true authority should ultimately lead us closer to God and foster unity among us. Let us reflect on the lessons from this passage, and may the wisdom of Jesus guide us as we face questions of authority in our lives. Amen.
വചനവയൽ ആപ്പ് എക്കാലത്തെയും വചന പഠനത്തിനുള്ള ബൈബിൾ ക്വിസുകൾക്കുള്ള ഉത്തമ സഹായി. ഇന്നു തന്നെ ഗൂഗിൾ പ്ലേ സ്റ്റോറിൽ നിന്ന് വചനവയൽ ആപ്പ് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്ത് വിവിധ ക്വിസുകൾക്കായി പഠിക്കാൻ ഈ ബുക്കുകൾ സ്വന്തമാക്കൂ. ലോഗോസ് ക്ലബ് അംഗത്വമെടുത്ത് ലോഗോസിനായി ഒരുങ്ങാം. വചനവയൽ യൂട്യൂബ് ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്ത് മത്സര റിസൾട്ടുകൾ ആദ്യം അറിയാം. www.vajanavayal.com എന്ന സൈറ്റിലും ഈ ആപ്പ് ലഭ്യമാണ്. എക്കാലത്തെയും ബൈബിൾ ക്വിസുകൾക്കും സഭാവിജ്ഞാന ക്വിസുകൾക്കും പരീക്ഷകൾക്കും വേദപാഠ പരീക്ഷകൾക്കും സഹായിക്കുന്ന 1,00,000-ൽ പരം ചോദ്യോത്തരങ്ങൾ. എക്കാലത്തെയും ബൈബിൾ ക്വിസുകൾക്കായുള്ള പഠന സഹായം വചനവയൽ ആപ്പ്.